Assalamu alaikum and a good day to everyone. Hope you all are having a great time. Welcome to the 16th episode in the Science and History series. This is the continuation of the timekeeping, the last episode, which was about timekeeping. So every day you write your birthday or anniversary, a national holiday, is part of a story that began thousands of years ago. It's the story of how humans tried to tame time itself. In episode 1, we explored how the basic building blocks of time emerged. Days from Earth's spin, months from the moon's cycles, and years from the Earth's journey around the sun. But these natural rhythms are messy. They don't line up perfectly. And for thousands of years, people struggled to build calendars that worked. In this episode, we will dive into the story of how Rome gave the world a calendar, who were the main players, and how they reshaped it into the one we use today. Before proceeding, just a side note, since we will be talking about periods and we'll be referring both the BC and AD periods. I think you all know that nowadays the use of BC and AD are not favored much. BC of course stands for before Christ and AD for Anno Domini, Latin for in the year of our Lord. This was started by the Christian Church, of course. Instead, nowadays BCE and CE have become more common, especially in the academic circles. BCE stands for Before Common Era and CE for Common Era. While the period they represent, the BC and BCE and AD and CE are exactly the same, but the change is because the BCE and CE are not religious. As non-Christians complained that we do not consider Jesus our Lord, so why should we use AD? Anyhow, moving on. So we were talking about Rome's calendar. Rome's earliest known calendar, attributed to its legendary founder Romulus, 8th century BCE around, had only 10 months. Martius, which became March, dedicated to Mars, the god of war, 31 days. Aprilis for April. From Epirire, to open, for the opening of blossoms, 30 days. Maius, May, honoring Maia, a goddess of growth, 31 days. Lunius, June, honoring Juno, the queen of the gods, 30 days. Quintilis, the 5th month, 31 days. Sextilis, 6th month, 30 days. September, the 7th month, 30 days. October, the 8th month, 31 days. November, the 9th month, 30 days. December, the 10th month, 30 days. That made a year only 304 days long, leaving winter as a blank stretch of uncounted time. Later, Rome's second king, Numa Pompilius, around 7th century BCE, reformed the system. Numa wanted a year that matched the solar calendar, the solar cycle more closely, fit religious festivals properly, and reflected the sacred completeness of the number 12. He therefore added 2 new months as the old 10-month year of 304 days left winter as a blank space uncounted. He added Januarius, January, named for Janus, the god of beginnings and transitions, and Februarius, February, named for Februa, purification rites held at the end of winter. Even with this reform, the Roman calendar was still messy. Priests had to add an intercalary month, Marcedonius, now and then, to keep the seasons aligned, but this was often abused for political purposes. Thus, it was apparent that further changes will be needed. By the 1st century BCE, the Roman calendar had slipped badly out of sync with the seasons. Festivals were drifting, harvests were mistimed, and priests manipulated the calendar for political ends. In 46 BCE, Julius Caesar, then the dictator of Rome, decided enough was enough. He consulted astronomers, including Sosigenes of Alexandria, who advised aligning Rome's year to the Egyptian solar calendar. The new Julian calendar, introduced in 45 BCE, had 365 days in a regular year, an extra day every 4 years, the leap year. And Caesar's reformed reshaped the months themselves. In 44 BCE, after Caesar's assassination, the Roman Senate renamed Quintilis as Julius, July, in his honor. And in 8 BCE, Emperor Augustus, Julius' successor, renamed Sextilis as Augustus, August. To give his month equal prestige with July, he extended it to 31 days. Julius' calendar abolished the confusing intercalary month and restored order. The Julian calendar was so stable, it lasted for more than 1500 years. But it wasn't flawless. The true solar year is 365 days, 5 hours, 48 minutes, about 11 minutes shorter than Caesar's calendar. This small error meant a drift of 1 day every 128 years. So let's fast forward 1500 years. By the 1500 CEs, the Julian calendar was about 10 days off from the solar year. The spring equinox, once on March 21st, was falling on March 11th. For the church, which set Easter by the equinox, this was a crisis. So in 16th century, 1582, Pope Gregory XIII ordered a reform. His astronomers devised what we now call the Gregorian calendar. Leap years still occurred every 4 years, but exception was made for years divisible by 100, unless also divisible by 400. This meant that years 1600 and 2000 were leap years, but 1700, 1800 and 1900 were not. This tiny adjustment largely arrested the drift. What is really interesting is that to fix the immediate error, Pope Gregory also dropped 10 days. In Catholic Europe, Thursday, October 4th, 1582 was followed by Friday, October 15th, 1582. The whole 10 days were missing in the year 1582 from the calendar. But the adoption spread slowly. Protestant countries resisted a Catholic calendar. Britain and its colonies switched only in 1752, skipping 11 days. Some Orthodox churches still use the Julian calendar for religious purposes even today. So today the Gregorian calendar is the world's civil standard. Whether you are in Nairobi, Moscow or California, your appointments, flights and school terms all run on Pope Gregory's refinement of Caesar's reform. And yet, Behind the neat rows of days on your phone lies a story of kings, priests, emperors, and astronomers, all struggling to bring order to the chaos of time. So, next time you see February 29 pop up, I wonder why September, which means 7th, is our ninth month. Remember, our calendar is a patchwork of ancient mistakes and brilliant fixes. And it took thousands of years to become the timekeeping system we now take for granted. Who knows what the future calendar will be like, and what new and innovative ways the humanity will come up for future timekeeping. In our next episode, we will move from calendars to clocks. How humans learn to measure hours precisely, coordinate time zones, and keep time down to the billionth of a second. Thank you very much for watching. This completes the second episode of Timekeeping. Please stay curious and Allah Hafiz.